not been for the China write-down, this company would have posted revenue which was 5% higher than the $44 billion number.
Right.
And the guide would have been almost 15, 20% higher. So we're talking about $8 billion in lost revenue. So clearly, whatever they're doing, they are able to make up that revenue lost in China with some other customers because it's in line with consensus.
Where are they making up for it?
Well, I mean, there are other customers. We saw the deals in UAE. I think there is demand from other enterprise customers. And the one anecdote they provided was token generation was up 10 times.
Explain what that is.
Yeah.
So the way these AI models work is if you type in a query on ChatGPT, it's going to generate, hundreds of tokens from that. It's going to be passed to the model. And the output is also, hundreds of tokens. So Google said at their I/O event, their token generation was up almost 50x. Same thing from Microsoft.
50?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
And so we are getting those type of numbers from pretty much anyone who is exposed to demand for large language models. And in this case, NVIDIA is exposed through ChatGPT because all the weekly active users that are going on ChatGPT and using the product for, let's say, 20 minutes.
Right.
That's what's resulting in the 10x increase in tokens. And I'm not surprised that everyone needs additional compute because if ChatGPT needs to serve more users, they need additional compute. The traditional CPU compute is just not good enough. And that's where I think they are finding that additional demand.
Our Ian King on our live blog says how many companies could front load their earnings release with details of what they're missing out on and still get a positive reaction from investors. So it's pretty impressive. Okay. We just had a guest on, Jay Goldberg, over at Seaport. He's got the only sell on the company. And he's got some questions about kind of like maybe all the good stuff is already factored in. I think questions about the AI and the build going to take longer. What do you say to some of that?
I mean, look, everyone acknowledges that, semiconductors is cyclical. You will see an air pocket or some sort of digestion. And these kind of growth rates are too hard to sustain, So you are not going to see 60, 70% growth when your revenue base is $200 billion run rate annually. I mean, from that perspective, there will be a tapering of growth. But look at all the hyperscalers. NVIDIA is still growing top line way above everyone else, including Microsoft and, Meta that are growing at a very healthy high teens rate. So from that perspective, there is still a lot of runway when it comes to NVIDIA's growth.
China and the China-specific story here, the H20, the restrictions. What do you see as the long-term effect of what the Trump administration has recently said, but also export restrictions on some of NVIDIA's products, specifically with regard to China?
I mean, that is the most plausible bear case against NVIDIA because, look, right now, China used to be about 20% of NVIDIA's revenue. It's very hard to fill that hole with all the additional demand, even though ChatGPT and other LLMs need more compute and they can take whatever NVIDIA is making. But in the long term, if you're looking 5 years out, without China, I mean, that's where all the secondary LLM companies are, besides, ChatGPT, Anthropic, and Google. And so you are missing out on a lot of potential customers that would have used your chips.